Do you judge me because I'm complaining about sweating when I'm walking from my car to, I walked 50 yards.
No judgment
It's
here.
the worst 50 yards of my life. I mean,
We're with Jaelan Phillips. We've started moments ago.
Sorry, Dan.
I didn't know that he had, that one of the tribulations is sweaty socks and feet. I would have thought of all the thousands of things out there that are unpleasant to practice in, I wouldn't have thought that that would have made the list.
That's probably the number one tribulation, to be honest. Wow. That's the worst part about it, especially when it starts raining out here and then your whole socks and shoes are wet and then it dries up and then you just got to run and you're squishing every step and it's brutal.
It's nice to see you back healthy and happy. Last time that we had spoken to you, moments later, you had the injury and then we're watching you crying on Hard Knocks and we all felt for you because of how awful that seemed. So you're feeling good now? You're expected to be out there as soon as they start, which is ahead of schedule, is it not?
Yeah, I mean, when I started, they basically told me it's anywhere between 9 and 12 months. And then some people, I think Cam Akers had like a 5-month recovery, right? So, as years have gone by, like the technology and everything has gotten a lot better. And so the timelines have shortened over time. I mean, I was talking to Dan and stuff back in his day, it's almost like a death sentence. And so at this point, they kind of told me anywhere between 9 to 12. And so for me, I'm pretty happy with where I'm at.
Did you just drop a casual talking to Dan reference?
Yeah,
Dan
Uncle
Marino?
Dan. Uncle Dan.
Uncle Dan. Right. Yeah.
What would you describe as the worst of it, where you got doubt and heartbreak because you've climbed all the way back from something? Never mind that it's a death sentence, just you rely on your body for your living. So when it betrays you, you're never expecting it. You guys all feel bulletproof, even though what you're doing is dangerous.
Yeah, no, that's very true. I mean, I think the most devastating part was when it initially happened. But pretty quickly after that, I just knew that if I didn't have the right mindset, then it could swallow me up and I could like really get in a negative headspace. And so literally like 20 minutes after it happened, when I got into the shower by myself, I'm just sitting there and I just had a moment I remember distinctly where I literally just like, thank God. I said, thank you for this opportunity because, it's going to make me stronger at the end of the day. And so I know I'll get over it. I know it'll take some time. It'll be frustrating, but ultimately I do feel like it's all a part of the plan. And, what's a good story without a little drama? So
20 minutes afterward? 20 minutes afterward, instead of feeling sorry for yourself, you're conscious about adjusting your mindset.
Yeah, I had to, because at the end of the day, I'm the only person who can control my mindset, right? Everybody can be around me trying to lift me up and trying to be positive for me. But at the end of the day, if I'm not positive with myself and I don't have, a positive mindset, then I'm not going to be able to heal properly. I'm not going to be in that right headspace. So, I pretty much instantly, and, thankfully I dealt with some injury and adversity before. So this time around, I felt ready for it.
Where is it along the path that your strength has been tested so that you actually know how mentally strong you are beyond injuries? Or is it just the teaching of the injuries?
I mean, I think my whole transition, going from UCLA to the U, and then, coming to the league, obviously, like, it was a big maturation phase for me, just moving all the way across from my family and kind of just having to bootstrap up and change my life around. I came into the U at 210 pounds and, kind of a shell of myself when it came to my self-confidence and my self-belief. And so slowly just gaining that back, feeling like myself again, and just going through that. I think that was like the first time in my life that I truly went through, a time of like big trials and errors or trials and tribulations. And so ever since then, it's continuous, right? I'm still learning and I'm still learning how to deal with things when they come along, but I definitely feel better suited for adversity when it comes around nowadays than I was, when I was 17, 18 years old. So injuries have played a part in that, but it's also just life. I mean, you guys know, going through things happen. So it's really about how you attack it afterwards and how you respond.
In those moments, do you lean on people? Like, who's there for you? Who are you going through this with? Who are you learning from?
Yeah, my family is my number one rock, my number one support system. My mom and my dad, they're great because my mom is really emotional and her and I are super close. We talk for, hours almost every day. And then my dad is he's a lawyer. So he's very analytical, very logically thinking. And so he kind of gives me insight and perspective. And then my mom really is there for the emotional support piece. My sister, my grandfather, like I have a really good tribe around me. And then obviously within the facility, within the building, I have, especially when it comes to injuries, like an amazing training staff, amazing strength staff. The coaches, they all have respect for me, and they all have been pushing me along and supporting me, and then my teammates as well. So really anywhere I look, I have support.
Are those one collective rock, or are those like separate rocks next to each other?
Sounds like mom's the rock.
Yeah.
Sounds like mom's
Mom's
the
is
rock.
definitely,
rock,
mom's
yeah.
definitely a big rock, and then my dad is
little
that
rocks.
supporting rock.
So there are multiple rocks.
just,
It's not just like total
exactly.
Smaller
Yeah.
rocks.
Yeah,
But mom,
yeah,
if you're
pebbles.
talking to one with several hours a day, the others are ancillary
Pebbles,
rocks.
I might even call
Pebbles,
them.
yeah.
Don't call us dad.
Yeah,
okay?
No,
I
I'm
gotta
saying
give
no,
him a
like the
little bit more
friends, like the
credit than
teammates
Pebbles.
are more like pebbles.
What
Mom's
is
a rock.
between?
I said it first. He didn't hear me.
mom's
Chris said it.
mom's
I'm so
older
happy.
than
Chris
dad.
said it.
We'll say it's like a
Steve Martin.
Jenga. We'll say it's like a Jenga structure.
Jenga. There we
I
go.
like
Because,
Now I can
because,
see.
because each one
Yes.
is important, right? And so
Yes,
it's like, yeah,
right.
my mom is probably the foundation, or maybe she's at the top, because then, in
Right.
theory, if the pebbles and stuff underneath
Right.
are out, then the whole thing falls over. So,
Yeah.
point being, I got a lot of rocks, a lot of rocks in my family, and they do a great job for me.
You said hours a day. That has to be an exaggeration. You're not talking to your mother hours a day.
Maybe a
but you're
little bit of an exaggeration, but we definitely, there are days we talk for hours, for sure. But I'd say, we definitely try to talk every single day, whether it's talk or text. And when we get on the phone, it's at least an hour every time. So hours might have been an exaggeration, but
So explain to me where they are along your path on support, like because the best part of these rides, right? You've told us before about how meaningful all of this is to you, doing it in Miami, being a part of the things that have happened to you in Miami. The best part of some of what it is you do is being able to share it with others who get the view. I imagine your parents didn't quite have the mindset 20 minutes after your injury that you did, because they were heartbroken for you, because they know how much you care about this.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, they were all there too, my mom, dad, and sister, and they came down the tunnel afterwards, and I think they were just more concerned about me. Like, obviously they were disappointed, they don't get to see me anymore, and they love watching me, and they support everything that I do, but I think my mom especially was more so worried about how I was feeling, and I think me coming out of the locker room with a smile on my face, telling them this is going to be okay, I think that really eased their mind.
That's super unusual in your position. You know that, right? Like, most guys break down. The body is the economy for a lot of different things. People don't rebound as quickly as you do mentally. That's not normal. You know this, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I don't want to, I'm not tooting my own horn, because frankly, I've had my ups and downs. I'm not going to act like I've been perfect through this whole time or anything, but I do think that my prior experiences and obviously the support system I have, and what they've taught me since I was young, I think has really kind of molded me and adjusted. My dad, like I said, he's like the analytical one, so he's really helped me with mindset wise, just like not worrying about things that are out of my control. And with this Achilles, it happened, right? So I can't change it. I can't do anything about it. So at that point, it's my decision whether I cower or not cower, but whether I just wallow in self-misery or if I bootstrap up and really just attack it with a positive mindset. So that's what I chose to do.
When you were young, did you dream of being a musician or an athlete? What were you dreaming as a career?
First, I wanted to be a lawyer, like my dad. I wanted to go to Stanford and get an academic degree. I really didn't think about sport. I played sports. I played travel ball, baseball, football, a little bit of basketball here and there, but I didn't really start thinking about football as a career until I started getting offers in high school. And that's when I was like, okay, maybe I can actually do something with this. And then the music really came back into my life when I retired from UCLA and really thought I was done with football. So then I had to figure out what I was going to do with my life and figure out what my identity was outside of football. So that's when it kind of, became real for me in the music sense. And then, with football, kind of like I said, once I started getting offers, started having aspirations, okay, maybe, I'll go to big college and go to the NFL. And then especially after my senior year, ranked #1 in the nation, coming into UCLA, I kind of just assumed that, I'm going to continue on this linear path, go first round, do all that stuff. And so it was a shock. It was definitely kind of a big eye-opener when things didn't go that way. But I think it was a blessing at the end of the day, because it just made me so much more rooted in myself as a person outside of football and outside of what I do.
Chris and I are making faces over here because of the choices. I mean,
Certain kind of athlete that's just like,
music.
oh, I just got this D1
Right.
scholarship. Oh wait, I guess I'll consider football.
well, not only that,
now.
professional athlete, and if that doesn't work out, lawyer. Yeah.
It's just
No,
real slacker.
My family is high achieving. My sister just graduated from Harvard Law. She's going to be working in a big firm in New York.
smart rocks.
Yeah, smart rocks for sure. So yeah,
It was dumb
like-
as rocks. I thought it was dumb as rocks, not smart rocks.
But I just knew whatever I was going to do that I was going to to be the best at it, and always achieve to be more than average and try to do something great with my life.
Put us in the bathroom when you found the iguana in your toilet.
Yeah.
Just put
That's
us
a crazy
there.
way to start a sentence.
It
Put
is.
us in the
Yeah.
Put us in
bathroom.
your
In the
bathroom.
bathroom.
Close to
Yes,
you in
yes.
your bathroom.
You said when I found the iguana?
Yeah.
So my girlfriend at the time had called me, and it was like right after practice, and I think she texted me. She was like, "There's a lizard in the bathroom. Like I have to call like an exterminator, this and that." And I'm like, "It can't be that bad, right?" She didn't send a picture or whatever. So I get home, and she was like, "It's in the bathroom," and she had put like a towel underneath the door. And I'm like, still, it can't be that bad. I took a peek. I said, hell no. This is not for me. Like, I'm kind of squeamish when it comes to like reptiles and bugs and stuff like that. And so I saw him poking his little head up. Not little, he was kind of big. He was like this size. Like, he wasn't like a biggest iguana in the world, but he was not small. And so yeah, he was chilling in that bathroom in the toilet, making it his home. I'm like, shit, he can have it, honestly. I'm cool off this, but called the exterminator. He came through. He handled the business, and
But what's the backstory? She gets to the toilet and is about to use it, and that's the worst nightmare
Oh my
scenario.
God.
An
You
animal.
know,
it's
Snake would be
awful.
worse, but-
yeah, a snake would be way worse for sure.
five?
Yeah.
No, I don't think she like got caught using it. I think she just like opened it, or maybe my cat was like freaking out or something like that.
Sensed it, right?
I'm gonna hope it was my cat, because like what is he worth other than that? If he's not sniffing out danger for me.
Squeamish around bugs. What are the bugs
Yeah.
that were most likely to walk into your house? You've seen one, and now this
It gets
giant.
like,
Yes, right up there, standing on a chair.
scared me.
standing on a chair.
scared me.
I was always an arachnophobe growing up, so I hated spiders.
Okay, that's what that is.
And then, after that, I just hate bugs in general. And Florida, has a surplus of bugs and animals of all sorts.
Right.
So I love animals. I love seeing all the animals
Get out
outside,
there,
but
yeah.
not in my sanctuary.
From a
Not in my
distance, yes.
exactly. I like to observe them, maybe not touch them or witness them up front.
But spiders, you're legitimately scared of spiders.
I think I've gotten over that a little bit now, but I used to definitely be like screaming, have my mom or sister come get it for me,
Right.
squeamish.
How about the flying cockroaches we have down here?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
You
I
enjoy
didn't know
those?
about that, but thanks for
you
unlocking
didn't
it.
know
Thanks for
about-
unlocking a new feature.
Really?
How did you not
I wasn't
notice?
worried about them now, but I am now. So yeah, thanks, Dan.
Thank you for being on with us. We appreciate the time with you, and we are really happy. It's been a pleasure to watch your work at both Miamis, and we're very happy that you're pass rushing again.
He's interested in being an audio engineer, Dan, and we have an internship available. I mean,
Do you?
What do you
Yes.
think? Yes.
I'll
yeah.
get you guys right.
That's how Ryan Clark,
Soundboard,
Ryan Clark, while he was playing for the Steelers. Now that was ESPN. It's not Metal Arc Media, but if you want to be an audio engineer, we're there for you.
Yeah,
in the event-
maybe this summer I'll hit you guys up. We'll do a little internship.
Little summer internship. I like
It's
that.
not high
Nice.
achieving standard stuff. You're going to be
Hey,
a failure
it's
in your
something.
family,
Yeah.
but
No, not a failure.
I'll have to tell
They
my
would love
daughter
it.
she's not getting that internship.
My dad
now.
loves your show, so it wouldn't be a failure.
By
in
the way,
his
how
eyes,
did
for
I
sure.
do on the short shorts? By the way, what's your
These are great.
preference
No,
on the seam?
these are from Southern California.
What's
Those
your
are,
preference on the inch seam? What's your
Oh, it's
preference?
got to be 7 or less.
Yeah, that's
so
what
I'm
I'm feeling.
going with like 7 to 5.
I knew you'd come correct, so I was like,
I don't want to be weird, but
these
even
are
staring at
like
his thighs
these are
all
like
the time.
3 to 5 inch right here.
he likes showing off
I like
the
to-
thigh.
yeah, I like
It's
to
a lot
have
of
one.
thigh. It's a
Would
lot
you?
of
single
thigh.
family could live in those thighs right there. I mean,
A
geez.
family of German tourists can live in that thigh. Thank you, sir.
You got me blushing over here.